Welcome to Recollection Mall. If you were a mall rat like me, or spent your formative years hanging out or being dragged to the mall by your parents or your parental units, then you've come to the right place. Have you ever gone into your childhood, teenage, or current mall and wondered, wasn't there a store or restaurant there? So let's take a trip down memory lane and take a look at that mall's history of yesteryear. Be sure you stick around to the end of this video and see if you can take my mall survey. Home Art Development Company planned a shopping center with the goal of providing a convenient shopping experience for New Hampshire residents without overshadowing the businesses and atmosphere of Main Street. They wanted to alleviate the fears of local residents who feared that the shopping center was going to take business away from Main Street. JCPenney moved out of the Bradley's Plaza to open at the new mall. Sears also left an old building in downtown Concord to open at the mall. The 481,700 square foot single-level mall was situated on 50 acres and opened on August 1st, 1990, with 4 large retail anchors, a food court, and room for about 62 storefronts. It was anchored by a Sears, a Sage Allen, a Steinbach, and a JCPenney. Among the stores that you may have remembered was Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, Tutti Frutti, KB Toys, Hot Topic, Zales, American Eagle, FYE, GameStop, Old Navy, Pitchfork Records, Spencer's, EB Games, Victoria's Secret, Gap, Radio Shack, J. Jill, Aeropostale, Abercrombie & Fitch, True Confections, Candies and Gifts, Coach, New York & Company, Panda Express, Orange Julius, Sabaros, Perfect Pretzels and Cranberries, Pizzico's, Structure, The Woodbine Gift Shop, What's Cooking, Olympia Sports, The Pet Store, Lindt Chocolate Store, and even Yankee Candles. When Steeplegate opened on August 1st, 1990, plenty of people said it was a good idea. The mall would create jobs, attract tourists on the way to Lake Winnipesaukee, and provide shopping for state workers toiling in the area. The mall started out strong for the first few years, but soon struggled to keep its tenants. In the fall of 1992, Sage Allen closed after a brief stint in the mall. The empty store would remain vacant for 7 years. The refurbishment of Main Street revived Concord's downtown. Though the mall had lost many of its traditional shopping attractions, new businesses had moved in to create more of a unique mall experience. Less than 5 years after opening, things were so slow that one tenant amused himself by rolling a quarter across the mall to see if he would hit anybody. Let's just say it rarely did. It also didn't help that Best Buy, Target, Home Depot, and Toys R Us would open nearby. The big box stores siphoned off the mall's customers. Chain restaurants like Olive Garden and Applebee's emptied out the food court. Meanwhile, regional malls stepped up their game, including the Mall of New Hampshire, a 20-minute drive south. In 1994, an outlet mall opened about the same distance to the north. Steinbach closed its store in 1999 as part of the company's bankruptcy. They would go on to close all of their stores. That same year, the Bon-Ton opened in the old Sage Allen, with a second Bon-Ton opening in the one half of the former Steinbach's place in November of 1999. In December of 2000, KB Toys closed. The mall was also losing shoppers to Concord's resurgent downtown, which was benefiting from a surge of people moving back from the suburbs and patronizing shops because they could walk to it. Main Street had become a premium shopping district, catering to consumers looking for local, unique merchandise. In March of 2001, Circuit City opened in the remaining space of the Steinbach. Old Navy opened in June of 2001, but CVS and the Saturday Matinee closed that same year. Steeplegate, or Sleepygate as many locals called it, confronted a familiar litany of woes: online competition, the increasing irrelevance of mass-market chains, fancier malls, and factory outlets just up the freeway. In March of 2009, Circuit City liquidated its inventory and closed when the company went out of business. In 2011, General Growth Properties, the successor to Homart, transferred ownership of the mall, along with 29 other underperforming malls, to the Rouse Properties subsidiary. In August of 2014, Rouse, a real estate investment trust with a long track record of turning around troubled properties, decided that Steeplegate wasn't salvageable and walked away. They announced that it had defaulted on its loan for Steeplegate Mall and was in the process of turning over the property to its lenders. By April of 2015, the property was owned by Wells Fargo Bank and Midland Loan Servicing and managed by Colliers International. In January 2015, Old Navy, one of the 4 main anchors at the mall, closed its doors. As part of an attempt to diversify from traditional retail and food stores, Hatbox Theater, a live theater venue located in the former Coldwater Creek and using the adjoining former Radio Shack space for storage and rehearsals, opened in 2016. Similarly, VIP bounce houses and laser tag opened in the former Old Navy location that year. The newcomers signaled a change in the way that shopping centers attracted business. In May of 2016, Steeplegate Mall was bought by the New York-based Namdar Realty Group for $10.4 million. In 2018, the Bon-Ton closed both their locations at the Steeplegate Mall. They were part of the 42 stores that closed nationwide that year. Later that same year, a charter school called Capital City Charter School moved into the former Bon-Ton's men's clothing and houseware store. Altitude Trampoline Park franchise opened within the former Circuit City space in November. In 2019, a health club called The Zoo opened a franchise in the former Bon-Ton's women and children's store, marking the first time since Circuit City's closure that all 5 anchors in the mall had an active permanent tenant. That same year, the mall's oldest tenant, a confectionery called True Confections, Candies, and Gifts, moved out of the mall, citing declining foot traffic and the mall's owners' unwillingness to lower rent rates. On February 6, 2020, Sears closed the Steeplegate store as part of the closing of 96 stores nationwide, which left JCPenney as the only traditional anchor left. The former Sears store was used as a state vaccination site during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Capital City Charter School closed and filed for bankruptcy in 2021. The public areas of the mall closed on April 22, 2022, after the mall's owners evicted the few remaining interior businesses. Only 6 businesses with exterior entrances, plus the later opened pickleball club, remained open. In 2023, the mall was sold to Onyx Partners. Onyx plans were to demolish most of the mall and the adjacent former Regal Cinemas movie theater to build a mixed-use retail and residential development with 625 apartments. Under the proposal plan, the 3 remaining tenants, JCPenney, Zoo Health Club, and Altitude Trampoline Park, would remain in the standalone buildings after the mall's demolition. The adjacent Applebee's and TD Bank parcels would remain as well. The Pickleball Club was only open from 2022 to 2024. The Hatbox Theater Live Performance Theater that operated from 2016 until they closed in 2024. In January of 2024, all but 3 of the remaining businesses were evicted for the redevelopment project. Only JCPenney, the Health Club, and the Trampoline Park remained as the long hold. By June of 2024, urban explorers began accessing the closed portions of the mall, with some vandalizing the interior, leading to several arrests. The mall owners responded by installing fencing around the perimeter of the closed sections of the mall and boarding up closed entrances. The closed Steeplegate Mall was now a destination for what some called urban exploration, the thrill of breaking into abandoned properties and documenting it on TikTok or YouTube. The mall's owner, Onyx Partners, began to accelerate a partial demolition of the mall after presenting redevelopment plans to town boards. Several videos showed trespassers just walking in through what appeared to be unlocked doors and going to places not typically open to the public. Concord Deputy Police Chief John Thomas still patrols the mall property and has responded quite a bit to calls since it closed. Several people have been arrested, mostly kids, he said. Some were just there to explore and check it out and take videos and pictures, but others have gone in and caused destruction, he said. They pulled out windows and pieces of the wall and things. Pictures provided to the city by the owners show graffiti, smashed interior windows, fire extinguishers discharged, and offices torn apart. Garbage and debris are being dumped and unauthorized vehicles are being parked or abandoned on the property, according to the owners. Demolition was delayed due to a lawsuit filed against Onyx by the landlord of the half-acre parcel containing a TD Bank franchise located on the east end of the mall's parking lot, adjacent to Sheep Davis Road. Onyx bought the TD Bank parcel for $2.5 million, effectively ending the lawsuit. JCPenney sued the mall's owner, Onyx Partners, which wanted to tear down most of the Steeplegate and build some 600 apartments as well as businesses such as Costco or perhaps a Whole Foods. JCPenney was the only tenant that had been part of the mall since it opened, saying that the resulting noise and mess violated its lease, which runs through 2030. A temporary restraining order had been placed on the plans to redevelop the mall on hold. A filing made on April 7th said the parties were close to coming to a resolution and expected to settle the issue. Under the development plan, JCPenney would stay as a freestanding building, while a trio of 4 to 5 story apartment buildings with underground parking and retail space would replace most of the mall and the adjacent Regal Cinema. As of May of 2025, its only remaining businesses are JCPenney, the only business from opening day and traditional retailer still operating, a trampoline park that opened in 2018, and a health club that opened in 2019. Congratulations!
Still here? It's over. Whoa. When I find you...
Pop quiz, hotshot.
This is only a test.
So if you've gotten this far into the video, thanks. So how many anchor stores closed or changed names at this mall? So if your answer was 7, give yourself a hand. You were paying attention. Thanks for watching. So what are some of your memories of this mall? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Recollection Mall. Add your name to the mall directory. Thanks.